you had 100 grand in debt from this contract that fell through. Now, how did that happen? And just please go into the story of that.
Yeah, so I was doing a job for a guy right outside of New Orleans, and there was a major flood in Louisiana that flooded a bunch of things, and this guy had a project, and he was really spread out because a lot of contractors got a lot of work at that time, and I was building a strip mall for him. And I bought the building, and I erected the building, put the steel up, put the roof on it, put the walls on it, rented the equipment, and I sent him a bill, and he was very late. He got to net 60 on me, and I was in the position where I'm like, look, man, I got to get paid because I was late with my vendors. I paid the labor, and I'd paid for the equipment, for the crane to come in, to hang the steel, all that other stuff. But I owed the money for the building. And I wasn't in a position, because I had just gotten debt, where I could get debt with this manufacturer. And the manufacturer, if I didn't pay them on time, I would have lost my line of credit with them. Yeah. And I'm like, look, man, you have to pay me. So I went and met him, and he wrote me a check. And I wrote a check to the manufacturer. My check cleared. His check bounced. And I was 100 grand upside down, plus the labor, plus the equipment. And it was just a position where I was stretched out over a bunch of projects. One of the most important things in construction is cash flow and making that work.
Any business, really, yeah.
Yeah. But construction is particularly hard because there's very long time frames. So there's long time frames on getting paid. You know, you bill, let's say you do all the work in January, you front that money. You bill on January 25th. You don't get paid till February 25th. So you're really damn near 60 days out off the rip, you know? And so that makes it tough. And you have multiple projects going on. There's a lot of cash going in and out of the business, and you get paid in large chunks. But then there's also retainage. So in construction, there's retainage. If there's 10% retainage on $1 million contract, that's $100,000. And then if your profit margin is 15, well, you're waiting on, you know. So it's construction. If you don't know how to manage the cash correctly, it can get you in trouble. It can also make you a bunch of money. But the situation was basically this: is that I needed the money. The business was doing over $1 million a year, but we were so busy, and my overhead was so high, and it wasn't in an unhealthy place. I just needed the cash, and I really did think that it was going to bankrupt me. And what it ultimately happened is the guy, I Googled him, and it turns out that he had not paid a bunch of contractors in Florida, actually, and that there was a news story about it. And I knew immediately he had no intention of paying me. And so I had to lien him in every parish in Louisiana and every county he owned property in. And a year and a half later, I got through it, and I went to a real estate closing. He tried to sell a house in St. Tammany Parish, and I went to a real estate closing and picked up my check for the amount of the contract plus the damages. It was he didn't show up to court. And so it was a complete slam dunk for me. But that's the other thing that people don't understand in business too, and that's why I don't sue people very often. Or I think that's the only time I've ever liened a guy and it went to court. And the reason is, I got a default judgment, which means I had a piece of paper that said I won, but that is a vanity piece of paper. That doesn't mean he's going to give you the money tomorrow. He might not have the money. Yeah. So sometimes in business, I'll tell you right now, if a guy fucked me out of 10 grand tomorrow on a construction job, or 20 grand or 25 grand, I'd be better off using my energy to just go make more money.
Yeah.
And you know, when people say life isn't fair, well, you fucking find out sometimes that it's not fair. So what you can't make your decision off fair in business. You have to make your decisions off what's the result going to be. And where's the best use of my energy to grow this business and succeed? And the best thing I can do is blow up on the internet and watch that guy watch me flex on his ass. That's all you can do.
With the